Bitcoin taking a big move towards the downside, giving us the trade that we were looking for only 2 days ago. Unfortunately, I missed almost the entirety of this trade. So in this video, I'll be talking about my mistakes and how you guys can learn from it. Hey, you guys can learn a lot from my good trades, but also way more, in fact, from my mistakes, from my missed opportunities. So in this video, I'll be talking about that. I'll also be talking about how I think Bitcoin is very likely to see a bounce from around these regions over here. So if you're interested in that, definitely stay tuned for this video. See you soon. Alright, so let's get started. Yo, we have Bitcoin USD on the 2-day time frame, and as you can see, Bitcoin taking a nice dump, almost a 17 to 20% drawdown, a really good move. We're going to go ahead and turn on our Ichimoku and talk about the trade we were looking for, and this was it right here, right? On Monday, when we came and entered into the cloud, I was looking for this edge-to-edge trade. We got rejected by the Tenkin one more time. That was a strong signal. As you can see, Bitcoin has been getting rejected by the Tenkin over and over again. Then we get the bearish TK cross entering the cloud, and then we also had one big sign, which was on the weekly. This was the big one actually for me that made me convinced that, hey, it's time to put on that big short, right? And I put on the trade as soon as I woke up on the Monday morning. I put on my trade over here. Why? Because the weekly candle opened underneath the Tenkin over here. As you can see, we've been finding support on the Tenkin for a while. Nobody else aside from the Mango community is looking at the weekly Tenkin. Gave us some really good trades, right? As soon as we opened underneath the Tenkin, that was it. That's when I took my shot. But hey, does it really matter if I wasn't able to see it through? And now we can go ahead and talk about why I made that mistake, why I wasn't able to capture the entirety of this trade. So let's get started with my mistakes. Alright, so mistake number 1 was letting the lower time frames influence my decision. Okay, so I took this trade primarily off the high time frames, the weekly, the 2-day, and even the 4-day for that matter. Okay, as you can see, the big trade that I was looking for at the very least was this edge-to-edge trade on the 2-day. Okay, that was the lowest time frame that I should have been looking at for this trade. But what did I do? As you guys can go ahead and just watch yesterday's video, I was watching the goddamn daily, and even the lower than the daily. I think I was watching the 4-hour time frame too. I was watching the daily. We can go ahead and turn off the Ichimoku, turn on our horizontals, and I was looking at this descending triangle over here. Now that wasn't bad. Okay, that wasn't bad. That should be adding a booster to my trade, not letting it stop me from seeing the trade through, right? So we were looking at this descending triangle over here, and we saw it break down and meet its measured move, and I was like, okay, you know what, it met its measured move. Now it's likely going to see a bounce over here and give us a retest somewhere over there, and then I'll take the trade again. So I let the lower time frame influence me in a negative way to get greedy because my trade was going my way. I should just let it ride, right? Maybe take some profits. What do I do? I let the lower time frames crowd my mind, and I missed out on the bigger move because the 2-day time frame was saying, hey, hold up, we haven't met the edge to edge yet. The 4-day, the weekly at the very least, forget the 4-day, man, the weekly was screaming at me saying, hey, we have a C-span trade right on our hands over here from the Tenkin to the Kijun. Wait for it, it's gonna come. And hey, what do you know, I wasn't patient, and I had to literally wait one day, and I missed out on more profits. Alright, so now let's talk about mistake number 2. Alright, so mistake number 2 was the anchoring bias. If you guys do remember, I was short Ethereum. I took a short over here somewhere near the top of the cloud after longing at the bottom over here near the 10K and the 21 EMA. Took the trade to the upside, took the trade to the downside, right? My trades were going well, and I was looking for Ethereum to find some support around these levels over here. Okay, now it didn't, and that's fine. But the anchoring bias kicked in, and I let my decision making on BTC get influenced by what I was looking at on Ethereum. Okay, so my mindset basically anchored on Ethereum's chart and basically translated that onto BTC's chart. So I was looking at Ethereum. Ethereum's likely going to find support around these levels. It has the 10K over here, it has the 200 MA over here, has a lot going for it over here on the 2-day time frame. So hey, perhaps in BTC will find support. So what did? I went and found reasons. My mind found reasons to get out of my BTC trade. Hey, we are likely going to bounce. You can milk more out of this trade. I essentially got greedy because I anchored onto my Ethereum trade, and what do you know? I made the wrong decision. It was a flaw in my decision-making process, guys. Trading is so much more about mindset than simply having good analysis, and you guys are seeing it right over here, right? I had the right analysis on BTC. I had the right trade too. I even put on the right trade, but my mind basically was my biggest enemy. All right. So mistake number 2 was the anchoring bias. Let's move on to mistake number 3. And mistake number 3 was trading when I'm too tired. And I've talked about this one before in my past videos. In fact, I have a strict rule to not do that, but I did. If you guys do remember from yesterday's video, I even mentioned I'm really tired today, so I'm going to be doing quick videos. And hey, if I was tired, I should not have been trading. I'll show you where I made my mistake. If you guys do remember, I had taken a long of this wedge over here, right, that we've been watching on the 12-hour time frame, the 4-hour time frame. I was taking this long and I was watching it, and I was basically, my rule was, hey, if you close either a couple of 1-hour candles and especially a 4-hour candle underneath this wedge, I'm out of the trade. Okay, and in fact, as soon as we closed the first 1-hour candle, I got out of the trade because it wasn't looking good anymore. But what I should have done was flipped long as well. But hey, I was too tired, right? So I said, hey, I'll just do it tomorrow. I'm not gonna do it right now. I'm too tired. I'm just gonna relax now and I'll take the trade tomorrow. But if I was too tired, what the hell was I doing taking the trade anyways? I shouldn't have been even in the trade. I should have let my 2-day time frame trade, my weekly time frame trade do its thing, and I paid the price because hey, I did not get the chance to flip back short. All I had to do was flip back short. I was still in profits off my short position, and I was hedged on it too, right? So all I had to do was close, right? That's all I had to do. I was too tired though, right? I don't know, my mind stopped working. I thought, hey, I don't know what I was thinking. I was probably looking for a bounce and trying to milk a little bit more out of it. I don't know, man. But look at what happened. The trade, Bitcoin didn't give me a chance. It didn't give me a chance to unhedge my position, and boom, 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 went all the way to the bottom. This is poetic justice. This is poetic justice. Me breaking my rules and Bitcoin making me pay. Now I did make a profit off this trade anyways, because like I said, I'd taken my trade off the futures, which was trading on a premium of $550 to $600 premium, and now when Bitcoin has come all the way down here, the futures is trading at only $100 to $150 premium, at least the last time I checked. So I was able to capture the difference in the premium, right? And that was good too. It's free. That was a freebie, but it doesn't matter, guys. To me, at least, it doesn't matter. I know a lot of traders judge their performance based on their profit and loss, but in my opinion, if you want to keep getting better and better and better, you got to judge your performance based on your process and how well you abide by your process, how well you abide by your rules. And I did not, right? I had a great week last week. You guys know I was making some really good profits throughout the entirety of last week on the altcoins. In fact, if you take my Chainlink trade into consideration, I still did really well. But to me, my performance on this trade was bad. So I want you guys to learn from my mistakes over here. Okay, know that trading there's a lot more to it than your analysis. Analysis gives you the tools to put on the trades, but can you stick with them? Over here, you guys saw that I wasn't able to stick with my my own analysis, my own trade, because hey, made the mistakes, right? So hopefully you guys can learn from that. And now let's talk about some Bitcoin analysis. What do I see Bitcoin doing moving forward from these price levels? All right, so let's get started with that. All right, so now let's talk about why I'm looking for Bitcoin to perhaps see a bounce over here. For full transparency, I am actually long at around 8,230. I think I got on Deribit. I do think Bitcoin will see a bounce over here. Now I could be wrong about that, but it's not about being right all the time. It's about taking the high probability trades. I think the probability over here is on our favor to see that bounce. Okay, so we do have support at this level on the daily time frame. Let's go ahead and mark out our horizontal. It was from this breakout zone over here. If you guys do remember, this was where I had actually taken my trade towards the upside, right? Well, added on to my trade all the way from around 5,000, right? 8,200 ish, somewhere coming around that level. And then if we we switch on over to the weekly, we do have a major horizontal coming in over there too, right over here. These candles over here, we can go ahead and mark it out. It's already marked pretty much, right? We can actually mark it out as a zone, I guess. It's good enough. Actually, we do have a level coming in around here too, that if you do want to mark, you can mark it out as a zone. As you guys know, especially when it comes to the high time frames, I don't like to mark a thin line. I do like making it a zone. It just helps with your mental biases. So, and I do need some help with my mental biases right now. Bitcoin ticking down right now, 8,291, but again, we are playing this on the high time frames. So as long as Bitcoin closes the week over this level, I think we are good. Now, does that mean that I'm going to hold this till the end of the week? No, Bitcoin can do some crazy damage, right? We can go ahead and look at the lower time frames right now. I do want to talk about this. Vitor from the Mango Telegram group did mention this. I think he is right about this. Bitcoin is playing out a channel over here. Let me go ahead and see if I can draw what he showed. Something like this, I do believe. I want to give him a shout out for this, because I would not have noticed this on my own. I think this what you were looking at? If it is, I mean, there's probably, you could also draw this like this, right, as a falling wedge, but I think he's right about the channel, right? It's more of a falling channel, so we could see Bitcoin it's doing something like this, right? You could see it come again down, test 8,000ish, and then pop up to the upside. Well, I'm not really looking for that. I'm hoping that Bitcoin actually finds some more support at 8,200ish if it does come down over here and then break on over to the upside. But hey, we could very well break to the downside as well. As you guys did see over here, right, we're watching that wedge on the 4 hour. It was a falling wedge and it broke to the downside. A pattern only has a probability of breaking one side or the other. It could break either side, guys. It could break either side. That being said, let me go ahead and clear this out over here. Oops, do it this way. Okay, I do think we are seeing some divergences, which does add probability to this breaking towards the upside, right? We are on the 1 hour right now. We can go ahead and turn on our oscillators, and we do have bullish divergence. That is, I did have to pause the video to quickly take a trade off this level right over here. As you can see, Bitcoin coming down to that 8,250-ish level again. And since we are, like I was saying, since we are putting in some divergences, again, these aren't completely confirmed yet. The 1 hour divergence is confirmed. As you can see, Bitcoin making higher lows on the 1 hour oscillator, but making lower lows on the price action over here. And on the 2 hour, we don't have it just yet, but hey, it does look like Bitcoin may be setting up for divergence on the 2 hour as well. Well, actually, you could say that we do have divergence on the 2 hour as well, then but again, I'm not going to put too much what I'm looking for is divergence on the 3 hour and then on the 4 hour. As soon as these confirm divergences, then I think we're going to see that move all the way up to at least 8,729 again. Now 8,200 to 8,700 isn't, you guys may be scoffing at that right now because we made such a big move, but these aren't trades to ignore. And if this trade does go our way, and then it has spillover effect onto the higher time frame. So what am I looking for on the higher time frames? Let's go ahead and clear this all out now. We can start with let's start with the 2-day. Okay, since we've been looking at this, turn off everything else. Firstly, what I would like to see is for Bitcoin to close over the cloud. Okay, if we close over the cloud here, that'd be a good sign. If we even close a 2-day underneath the cloud, I'm likely getting out of my trade regardless of whether I am in profit or not, right? So Bitcoin could very well come all the way up from 8,220ish is where I took my trade to 8,500, and if it closes underneath the cloud, I'm out of the trade. Okay, I want to see this 2-day close inside the cloud at the very least. Okay, at the very least, I want to see at the very least, I'll be taking some of my profits off the table. I don't want to make any firm decisions just yet based on that. I want to look at the other time frames too. On the weekly, yes, okay, that also lines up with what I am looking for on the weekly. I do believe the weekly Kijun is coming around at that level too. The 2-day cloud coming in around 8,500. The weekly Kijun coming in around 8,488. So the 2-day can be our early sign as to what the weekly is doing. Right now, if the weekly closes over the key zone, that'd be very good. But if the week, I wouldn't say very good, be good. Okay, what would be very good is if the weekly closes over its 21 EMA, sitting at 9,236. Okay, so like I said, if the weekly doesn't do that, it doesn't mean it's a death sentence for Bitcoin. It just means that we're now going to start seeing consolidation on the higher time frame. So what's higher than the weekly? It is the monthly, right? So if Bitcoin actually does give up these levels over here, if Bitcoin gives up the key zone, doesn't manage to close the weekly and over the key zone, then I'd be looking for, hey, perhaps an edge-to-edge trade on the cloud, right? But the easier way to look at this is let's pull up BLX for this. Actually, is to look at the monthly time frame. I'd now be looking for consolidation on the monthly, and hey, perhaps us meet the weekly 21 EMA on the monthly, which is sitting at 6,808, right? So let's go ahead and mark that right now. Damn, 6,850-ish. Bitcoin has lost its key zone on the monthly time frame. We are also sitting on Tenkin. Are we sitting on Tenkin support or underneath Tenkin support? 8,489, by the way, guys, is also Tenkin support on the monthly. So a lot of confluence around that 8,500 level. Okay, we need to see the week close above that. That's going to be a big sign that, hey, this is being defended. If we don't, I'm actually going to have to flip short, and I'm going to be looking for the move all the way down to 6,800. Now that's probably something you guys don't want to hear, but it's on the table, guys. It's on the table. And hey, it doesn't matter whether Bitcoin was to go down or up, right? There's Bitcoin to be made in either direction. There's money to be made in either direction. I also do want to talk about this before we wrap this video up. Bitcoin is seeing support at the 200 moving average on the daily time frame. Now this is a big level. A lot of people are going to be having their eyes on this. In fact, you guys know I've been talking about the 200 moving average ever since around this level, right? I was hoping for Bitcoin to see its 200 moving average come and underline the cloud, and us see that support underneath the cloud over there. But hey, Bitcoin penetrating through the cloud over here and coming and meeting the 200 moving average. So eyes are going to be on this. I'm expecting a bounce over here and hopefully a spillover effect onto the higher time frame. But hey, it doesn't need to happen. If we do see that daily close underneath the 200 moving average, that would be a nice level to place your short against. Again, this is not financial advice. I'm not your financial advisor. Trade very carefully and do your own research. That being said, guys, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Throw it a like, throw it a share, and I really hope you guys learn from the mistakes that I listed in the beginning of this video. You guys are far more likely to skyrocket your growth as a trader if you learn from other people's mistakes instead of waiting for you to make those same mistakes. So I'm going to keep trying to share all of my mistakes as I make them, because my job is to help accelerate your growth. That's what Mango is about: fertility and constant growth, fertility of the mind. I'll see you guys soon. Throw that like, throw that subscribe, hit the bell icon. Ciao. Trade the stress-free way, the Mango way.